Welcome to Behind the Investigation with Atlanta News First Investigates. I'm investigative reporter Sierra Cummings, joined now by investigative reporter Andy Pirati. Good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
It's an important story. This is kind of a part of a longer-term project you've been working on, but it takes a different shape. So talk to me about cost of shooting and how this particular chapter of the project is slightly different.
Yeah, so this story is about second chances in our ongoing series, The Cost of Shooting, where we've looked at the cost of gun violence financially to communities, mental health. But this one takes a different turn because we look at a diversion program that are helping people stay away from incarceration. It involves a young man named Christian Brown, who never actually pulled the trigger, but he went somewhere with a gun in his hand that he wasn't supposed to be even around.
All right, go ahead. Let's do it. All right, let's get it, man. Let's get it.
It's game night for Christian Brown
Right.
and his parents.
A lot of cards. It's my go. Skip you. It's family time. We eat, we laugh.
A tradition to keep the family together that almost fell apart after the 22-year-old made a decision one night, nearly gambling his life away.
I remember everything. I remember exactly what happened.
In December 2018, Christian broke into this Metro Atlanta house with a gun and found the homeowner inside.
I used the bottom of the gun to whack him in the head, man. Talking about this, it kind of it makes me uncomfortable. I regret everything that I did.
Police arrested Christian, charging him with robbery, assault, and possession of a firearm while committing a felony. He spent more than a year inside the Fulton County Jail, facing 10 years in prison, all for about $100.
Barely 130. Wow. I swear, barely 130.
It's crazy to think you almost went to prison for
Yeah, it's $130, right?
Wow.
It's crazy, man. Every time I look back at that, I'm like, bro, that was not worth it.
Yeah.
At all.
I cried. I didn't believe it.
Misty Parks is Christian's mom.
It's looking bad. It's not looking good at all on his side of it.
While Christian didn't fire the gun, his arrest is part of a growing epidemic of gun violence impacting Georgia. According to the Atlanta Police Department, officers arrested at least 4,400 people for weapons-related charges since 2018, many of them involving a firearm. That's nearly 2 arrests a day.
So the ripple effect is tremendous. It impacts generations of family.
All right, Atlanta Judicial Circuit is now in session.
Fulton County Superior Court Judge Rochelle Carnicel says the majority of violent crimes before her court involve guns. That includes Christian's case.
He doesn't look like someone who would do very well incarcerated. When I notice something like that, I immediately worry of what's going to happen if they fail.
But Judge Carnicel took a chance on Christian, allowing him to take part in a program to avoid prison if he successfully completed high school, drug screenings, book reports, and hundreds of hours of community service.
Get it, Bronco.
It wasn't easy.
I was terrified. They was like, bro, don't get on this lady bad side. She gonna throw you the book. She gonna send you down that road, man.
2 years later, Christian graduated.
It's good to see you.
Giving him a second chance.
Well, I guess it's my time, you know.
A moment most people facing similar charges never receive.
I want to say thank you, Judge Carnicel. Without this opportunity, I probably would not be here right now. Also, I want to thank my family for being there with me throughout the whole ride. I know it's been hard. I just want to say thank y'all very much. I love y'all.
You did it. Mama's so proud of you.
I was down. This right here brought me up.
This is a blank card. You can get whatever you want from that card.
A young man
Look at God.
determined
Look how he works.
Thank God.
to beat the odds.
It keeps the family together, man. Especially together.
Sierra, there wasn't a dry eye in that courtroom during the graduation. So many other people there also who worked so hard to get that second chance. And also a reminder that people should not be judged the rest of their life because of one bad decision.
Yeah, and he's really taken advantage of the second chance. Do we know how well these diversion programs actually work?
So this diversion program is called My Journey Matters, and we're unsure exactly what the results are, but according to the judge, it's touched about 1,000 people's lives just here in Fulton County.
Wow.
It's also important to note that diversion programs exist to help alleviate jail overcrowding, but according to some research done by the Prison Policy Initiative, it's not including as many people of color as it should be. And success in these diversion programs really require a lot of support, which Christian had. But if you don't have that support, it's really difficult to complete these diversion programs. And it's especially important here in Georgia, and here's why. Georgia not only has the highest incarceration rate in the entire country, but if it was its own country, it would have the highest incarceration rate than any free democratic country on earth. Sierra?
You've been doing a fantastic job on this series, but I thought it was so important that you talked about the impact and the solutions of a process like this. It's a big deal.
Yeah, and I'm so grateful that we got to profile him. And Christian is just fantastic, and I wish him all the best, and so many other people that are part of this program. It definitely deserved some attention.
Yeah, this is obviously behind the investigation, so we want to go a little bit behind the scenes. How did you decide this is a story you wanted to tell? When did you find out about it?
So one of our fellow colleagues, Patrick Quinn, told me about it, and he couldn't cover it that day. But when he told me a little bit more about it, I said, I need a palate cleanser. And as you know, sometimes we report about the worst things in our society. But when I heard about Christian's story, and then I spoke to the program director, and I just heard about his resilience and just him wanting to complete this and turn another leaf, I knew I had to cover it.
Yeah, we'll definitely be following Christian's story from here on out. A lot of us are rooting for him. Fantastic work, Andy. Thank you so much for sharing this project with us. You've been watching and listening to Behind the Investigation with Atlanta News First Investigates. Be sure to watch and listen wherever you get your streaming services or your podcasts. Have a good one.